Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for being here today. May I ask you that have you ever postponed something important until the last minute and then regretted later? You must have. How did that make you feel? Stressed out, nervous, guilty, embarrassed? Yes or no? Yes, I know how it felt because I had been there for a number of times. I remember when I had to write my assignment during my engineering career, I had plenty of time. But what I used to do is keep on lingering till last night. As a result, when I submit, I was stressed. I was overwhelmed that I couldn't think straight or write well even. I ended up submitting crappy paper that got me naturally a bad grade. I felt like a loser. But now, what if I told you that there is a simple and effective way to avoid this situation? What if I tell you that you can beat procrastination and achieve your goals and dreams just by a simple technique if you practice it daily? Would you be curious to know it? Would you be interested? Would you be willing to try it? If yes, then let me present this talk in 5 simple steps. Step number 1, the definition of procrastination. 2, the science behind it. 3, what are its effects? 4, how can we overcome it? 5, one simple technique to follow that will help you. Coming to the first one, definition of procrastination. Procrastination is when we delay doing something that we should do now, but we end up doing something else that makes us feel good now. Yes, but very bad later. Because time and tide wait for none. Once it is gone forever. Coming to the second one, that is the science behind it. It says we have battle between the two parts of our brain. One is the older part and one is the newer part. The older part is known as the limbic system. It likes pleasure and dislikes pain. Whereas the newer part, it's prefrontal cortex system, and that helps with planning, decision making, and long-term goals. But do you know what happens? When we face a task, we think it is boring or it is unpleasant, then immediately the limbic system takes over it and tells us to do something else, which is easy. At that time, our prefrontal cortex tries to fight, but it gets defeated. The reason it is weak. And do you know what happens then? It generates impulsivity. Impulsivity means that we do whatever we feel like doing without thinking about the future effect. And then we regret. Simple. Now coming to the third step. What are its effects? The procrastination effects in 5 areas of our life. They are physical health, mental health, academic performance, work productivity, and personal relationships. As you know, Physical health is hampered by causing stress, anxiety, and so on. Whereas the mental health by causing guilt, shame, and so on. Academic performance by causing lower grade, missed deadline, and so on. Work productivity by causing low income, missed opportunities, and so on. Whereas the personal relationship by causing anger, conflict, and mistrust, and so on. But there are many ways to beat this procrastination. One of the way is breathing techniques. I love breathing techniques. The reason this breathing technique has three powerful advantages. The first advantage, it's simple and effective way to take you to the mindfulness. And when you are mindful, you are in the state of being aware and accepting your present moment. Wonderful, isn't it? Second one, it improves your self-control by making prefrontal cortex stronger and the limbic system weaker. These are the brain parts that involves in your decision making and your emotion control. And third, the most important is it takes you to a meditative state and you get more calm down, relax, and focus on your present moment. So, do you want to know this technique? And that is the fifth stage which I'm going to tell. It is a simple technique, one of the easiest technique which I am following, and it has helped me a lot. Here it is. To do this, just put your right hand on your belly and left hand on your chest. And from your mouth, just breathe out. And then see, your belly goes in. It shrinks like a balloon when you take out air from it. And now, from your nose, you breathe in. While breathing it, see that your stomach comes out. Your chest remains still, as if you are putting air inside the balloon. The third step, again, you breathe out from your mouth. So simple, isn't it? Yes, but you will surprised to know that it works wonder. Yes. Now, coming to the conclusion, let me wrap up. What did I say today? Mainly, I focus two items. They are the procrastination is common and bad habit that affects our physical health, mental health, academic performance, work productivity, and personal relationship. Second item which I described is we can beat procrastination by practicing simple breathing technique which I showed you just now. Don't you think that you should practice it and fetch the benefits? Just you do it 5 minutes a day and continue it at least for 7 days and see the miracle. Finally, let me quote a famous Zen master, Thich Nhat Hanh. He was a Buddhist monk from Vietnam who said, the present moment is the only moment we have, and it is the door to all the moments. So, break the door of procrastination. I repeat, break the door of procrastination and see on the other side. You will be surprised to know that success is waiting for you. Go, embrace it. Thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, Dinesh. That was great. I'm trying to look to see if we have any questions. I really appreciate all that you shared with us, and I think your technique was just great. We've got comments here. Love that you made some lovely points in that. Thank you very much for that. And I hope that that reached some of you and resonated with some of you at home, and that you could have a go at that. Watch it back and have a go, because these things do take practice as well, don't they, Dinesh? You know, sometimes we have to, when we're trying something new, we have to embrace it with everything, and we have to try, you know, to feel. Would you give them any other advice, Dinesh, for how they can make things better in stopping procrastinating? What's the top thing that you would say is the biggest moment?
There are many other techniques as I described, and even for breathing techniques, there are many other types. And one of my video is already there. And next time, if possible, I would love to go in detail so that all can practice. And I've experienced that those who are practicing are really fetching the result, because it is very simple, yet it is very effective. What we think as breathing is just taking oxygen in and taking out the carbon dioxide. But it is not like that. This is a power force, or the life force, that we take in. You're surprised to know that it affects your nervous system, mental system, and your emotional system. So if you take it carefully and practice, it works wonder.
Wow. I absolutely love that. You know, it actually reminds me, I was talking to my 7-year-old earlier, and he came out with a quote, and I thought it was really interesting that I was like, can you come up with some more of those? He actually said, and I wrote it down, life is like air. When you breathe it in, it never comes back. So don't waste a moment. And I was like, okay. And I was proud, mummy moment. And what you just said and talking about breathing, I was like, whoa, that's kind of interesting. But Dinesh, how can people get hold of you? Because you said that you had videos about this. You know, how can people get in touch with you? We'll put your links in the comments, but I'd also like to know that I'd like you to tell them live now how they can get hold of you the best way.
Just give me a second. Please continue with your rest of your program. I will go to Facebook, get the link, and paste it here.
Brilliant. So they're best to contact you on Facebook. That is amazing. Thank you so much, Dinesh. And we are going to move on. That was quite an opening to our summit today. We're going to move on to our next speaker, who is the lovely Angel. And let me just share my screen. This time, hopefully, I'm sharing the right one. With a bit of luck, you can see can you actually see my PowerPoint this time? Let's hope so. Is everyone seeing the slideshow? Amazing. Woo! 10 points.
Amazing. You.
I did it. Right. So here we go. Obviously, we've gone past this, so I'm going to move on. This is a wonderful suit there I was talking about. So we've got Angel next, and Angel is an author and coach. Have you ever met someone who simply makes you feel better and inspired? Now, that is our Angel Marie. She's known as both the walking antidepressant and the energizer, and she helps you to live your truest life naturally by igniting your energy, joy, and abundance. As a TV producer and host, 8 times best-selling author, spiritual counselor, Reiki master and teacher, energy expert, certified Tai Chi instructor, her mission is to ignite in humanity with her intuitive approach to counseling, healing, speaking, meditation, and angel card readings. Because when you ignite your energy, you ignite your gifts. I love that. I cannot wait to hear what Angel has to share with us about procrastination. Welcome to the stage, Angel.
Thank you so much, Lisa Marie. I appreciate it. And, you know, I want to say thank you to you, the viewers, because we're on an adventure today about procrastination. So thank you so much for being here. And I'm going to quote Einstein. And what he said was, life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you have to keep moving. And don't we all want more energy? Come on, everyone that's at home watching today, put your hand up and say it loud. I want more energy. I absolutely do. And you know what? I want to say thank you to, so thank you for playing, everybody, and giving me that number one on the chat. Anna Shu, thank you so much for inviting me and hosting Lisa Marie. I so appreciate you. And this is why, because you have a tribe, you have a group, you have an audience, the viewers that want to understand about procrastination. And it's a very, very big topic around right now. And my belief is that by the time my time is over, that you will understand, yes, you viewers and everyone will understand how to ignite your energy and squash that procrastination. Did you know that in 2021 at Harvard Medical School, doctors stated that exercise and movement causes muscle cells to produce mitochondria, which are the powerhouse generators of the body, which helps you to have more physical, mental, and emotional energy. So make more mitochondria, have more energy, and you will squash that procrastination. It is really that simple. So get up, get moving. Exercise is really the key to squashing that procrastination. You know, my daddy-o used to say to me, when you stop moving, baby, it makes easy things hard and hard things harder. And think about that. It really does once you start moving. That's why I'm so passionate about you understanding energy, not just understanding here, but really experiencing it. And I'm really blessed with a thriving spiritual counseling and a Reiki energy healing practice for over 2 decades. And being here and to share globally my expertise about energy and igniting your gifts, which are what? The things that just go by, that you just love to do. And it just is such feeling of joy and peace inside of you. That's what those gifts are. Yet you know what? It wasn't always like that. I was diagnosed over 4 decades ago with lupus, fibromyalgia, arthritis, and Sjogren's. And those also caused me at certain times, I'm almost died, not once, not twice, not 3, 4 times I've almost died. And you know, when those happened and being diagnosed, it took me on a breakdown. And in that breakdown, I've studied the power of energy, the power of mindset, and the power of nutrition, not just food, but how energy and how we relate. And you know what? When I combined all of it, you see right now the energy, the enthusiasm, even though I'm in chronic pain all the time, but that movement helps to stay out of that. So it also helps to boost the energy for clarity. It's amazing now to be able to teach all over the world about energy. People want to be counseled now about how to raise their energy, how to connect their energy, how to control their energy, how to release negative energy. And in all of that, the importance of more energy is about procrastination, because that's one of the biggest questions I'd always get asked in my counseling is, why do I procrastinate so much? So say this with me. Please, everyone on the line, please say this with me, which is, when I ignite my energy, I ignite my gifts. Everyone, please, when I ignite my energy, I ignite my gifts. Thank you. I can see some of you playing. So let's all just take a moment right now and imagine that you have this surge of energy that goes through you that is so inspirational. And the feeling of the action, you actually get that procrastination is totally squashed. Right now, feel that. Take that breath in, that it's totally squashed. There is none in your field of energy. What does that look like to you? Take a moment. What does that feel like? And most importantly, how are you showing up now? Breathe into it, because you have none of that vibrational field, which is that. Because we all struggle, right? With low energy brain fog and procrastination. Yet the thing is when we step into the field of energy, of that bringing the energy up by moving your energy, you can release that. So I'd love to tell you my secret right now. And my secret right now is 5 different ones. And it is the SHINE formula. And this is the SHINE formula. The S is to shine bright. Yes. And to smile bright. Everybody put a smile. I can see you. Put a smile on your face, and it does change anything. I can see you. So it's beautiful. Yes, your energy changes, because procrastination is an energy. It is a vibrational field, like fear to sadness to happy to joy. It is just an energy on the quantum physics of 7 laws. That's all it is. So when you smile bright, what happens? You change the vibrational field of your body. The next one is heal with breathing. And we had a beautiful presentation earlier about breathing. So take that diaphragmatic breath. It'll change everything. The I is about ignite your laughter. You start laughing about that you're procrastinating, you probably won't be procrastinating for very long, because you'll be laughing so hard and you'll have that energy and you finally go, oh, just do it. So I is for that ignite your laughter always. And then the N is nurture your health. And the N of nurturing your health is, yes, is drinking more water. You'll feel better. You'll have more clarity also, because 1 to 3% of being dehydrated, scientifically proven, you have brain fog. Oh my gosh. So let's not have brain fog, so we can move past that. So the next one is E, which is energize your life, which is actually the movement, the exercise. So let's stay with that one today, right now, which is the E for energizing. So what I'd like to give you is this golden nugget to help you to energize and to have more happiness, because just by moving. So everyone up, and I want you to do the shine on shake. I know it's sunny and you're like, it's early or it's late at night, but just moving just this much can change their vibrational field all around you. So you can see everyone on the line that is doing this, and you're actually raising your energy, because it boosts the production of that feel-good hormones, those endorphins, and you can produce more mitochondria. Yay, mitochondria. We like that mitochondria. Let's get that going. I know, but you know what? It's small movements. So even if you do Tai Chi, I teach Tai Chi, even if you're doing that, the breaths is going to help. To doing the shine on shake, to even taking a walk, anything will help, because it's movement, and it'll help you to get out of that procrastination, which I always say is not really procrastination. It's I don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it. But yet, being in the vibrational field of movement and getting me moving with the shine on shake, I'm like, I got this, I got this. And you start to move. And I hope that really helps you, because, and that's why I put together a life energy boost, because a life energy boost, just 15 minutes with me, will help you to recognize and connect to experience this energy. And that's what you really want, because I don't want you to wake up in 6 hours, 6 days, 6 years and go, what is about that energy thing that Angel was talking about? Everybody's talking about it, but I just go, yeah, I know it, but yet I still don't feel it. I don't want that to happen to you, because I want you to be able to step out and be in that. So go ahead and get it on my calendar, and you can do it, because movement is what the body needs to increase the mitochondria, to increase your vibrational field to every cell and cell unit, so you can have more clarity. Don't you want more clarity? You want more energy. You don't want to procrastinate. So go ahead and let's do that. So thank you to Anushan and everyone on the line that is watching today, and take this in. Everything is energy. You got this. Thank you so much. I so appreciate you.
Well, we appreciate you too. Thank you so much, Angel. That was just amazing. What a lot you got in there to tell us. I wrote loads and loads. I didn't stop writing except when I was shaking. So thank you for all your tips. And I think it led on so beautifully from what Dinesh had talked about with the breathing. You know, you touched on that as well. And I loved your shine formula. I mean, that's just great, isn't it? I can't imagine what the difference 15 minutes with you would make. So, you know, I'm going to say to everybody out there, get in touch. I think that you've just had two amazing people who are specialists in this particular area of being able to clear these problems that you might have with procrastination. Get in touch. How is it best for people to reach you, Angel? How is the best way to communicate with you?
Oh, just go ahead and go to angelmarieinc.com, inc.com. And there is that energy boost. And I know that Life Energy Boost, it's right there for you. Let's chat about how I can show you how to get into your own energy.
Now there's an invitation, ladies and gentlemen. How can you turn that down? Sounds fabulous. We loved that, said Sean. Bonnie's like awesome. I mean, it really has been a great start, and we have still got more to come. Ladies and gentlemen, we've still got 3 absolutely incredible speakers that are sharing their take on how to stop procrastinating as well. So there's more to come. Angel, I'd like to invite you to pop that link in the Facebook group that we're going live right now. And I also wanted to say, just before we introduce our next speaker, who is the lovely Bonnie, she's coming on next. But before I introduce her, I just wanted to talk again briefly about, I mentioned about the GST community. Now we do have a Facebook group, and the reason I'm bringing it up is because, like I said at the beginning, I wouldn't be sitting here now if it hadn't been for them. So I'm a massive advocate for GST, because I went into that small group after Anshu had just started it pretty much, and I started practicing being live in front of the camera in a safe community where people weren't there to judge. They were just there to give great feedback, encouragement, suggestions. So if that appeals to you, go on and search for a global live speakers community on Facebook and come and join us. It's a private, safe place, and we call it a family because a lot of us have been super supportive of each other, and we've come a long way, and we want to see that for you too. So next it's on to Bonnie. I can't wait to hear what Bonnie has to tell us. Let me share my screen so that you can find out a little bit more about Bonnie. Well, here we go. Here we go. Unfortunately, I didn't have it coming up in large, so let's change that now. Sorry about that. So Bonnie is a mindset coach, and I have been learning a lot about what Bonnie does. She's actually quite incredible. She works with women, and she is a mindset and personal development specialist. But what she does is I know she's got a program that is actually starting very soon, and I would like to, oh, sorry about that, boys and girls. I'm pressing my buttons because I was looking for my notes, because actually what I wanted to tell you was a little bit more in depth about Bonnie than what I've actually written here. So if you will bear with me, I'm just going to stop the share and tell you a little bit more about her program, because she does coach women to do these changes in their daily habits, and to help them to find themselves again when they've been lost. And she does these transformations and helps them to make changes instead of giving in to the overwhelm that they have. And even when they're feeling uncomfortable, they can find a foundation of consistency, a solid foundation to build their dream life on. So I just want to share with you a little bit more about what she does, because she owns the Rock Solid Mindset Life and Gratitude Coaching, and she's based in Central Florida. I tried to wake her up, bless her, when she was in the middle of her sleep earlier. I don't think she appreciated it very much because, of course, I'm here in London different time zones. Apologies, Bonnie. And sometimes we forget that, don't we, when we're in a global community? We it's like a 24-hour thing, and we forget about all the zones and everything. So my bad. But she empowers midlife women to say bon voyage to those shackles in their mind so that they can live the life of their dreams, as I said, and claim their joy and passion. Now, she's got this 5x5 formula to a rock solid day program, and it's 5 activities that you can do, which are like 1 to 5 minutes each. You do them in the morning and you start your day off properly, rock solid. And her Vision for Your Life program combines a vision board and the wheel of life, color coding the wheel of life. So, Bonnie, I hope I did you justice there, and I would love to hear what you have to tell us all about procrastination. Welcome to the stage.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me right? I am in a place. I might be in the background. I am in Central Florida, right close to Walt Disney World. So Mickey Mouse could walk in the door at any time. So if you see me jump up, I gotta go say hi to Mickey. So anyway, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that wonderful.
We're having a little difficulty with. We're having a little bit of difficulty with the sound, just a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Is it okay now? Can you hear me now?
It's better.
Sleep for a while. So okay. So thank you very much for that wonderful introduction. I'm very impressed with myself. That's really cool. And so yeah, I am a mindset, life, and gratitude coach. So I do work with people on procrastinating. They want to do better with their life, and they want to get their job. They want to start a business. They want to write a book, and they keep procrastinating. It's like I tell people, I'm like a 2-year-old. I keep asking the question, why? Why do you want to start this? Why is it important to you? Why? I have to peel the onion, so to speak, and dig down deep, and I keep getting to the point of what people want to do. And my 5x5 formula is 5 activities to do in the morning when you first get up. Sorry, day off song, and you don't want to procrastinate on that. When you first get up, practice gratitude. Name some things you're grateful for. How did you sleep last night? Why you happy you woke up every day. I do meditation, do journaling, deep breathing, grounding yourself. Get out, and I live in Florida, so it's almost always sunny. It's been rolling all week, so thank God today is a nice day. So look up at the sun, get stretch out, and open up your diaphragm and everything. Do some deep breathing, and just start with your day. And I have a little meme for the word mindset using the first letters of the word. Mindset is knowledge during setbacks. Everything is terrific. Again, mindset is knowledge during setbacks. Everything is terrific. No matter how bad it gets, somebody's always going to have it worse. I show people how to appreciate what they do have and don't love what they don't have. And when I work with people on getting rid of saying bon voyage to shackles in the mind, bon voyage, I put that together. So don't always worry about what people have said about you in the past. Do what you want to do in the future. Don't procrastinate. How old are you now? Are you living the life of your dreams? Are you truly happy with your life? Obviously, you have to worry about people's opinion. You want people to like you and stuff. So every point, it's right. You do what you want. Don't procrastinate. My mom is in her mid-80s, and she and her boyfriend have an RV, and they're off traveling around. I don't even know where my mother is right now. Her boyfriend could be on the other side of the United States traveling in their RV. They are not letting life pass them by. You don't want to be 90 years old and look back on your life and say, what did I do? What is my legacy? What's my legacy I want to leave for my family, my grandkids, my nephews, my nieces, whatever. Don't procrastinate. Don't put it off. Just do it. Just go off and do it. One of my goals is to be a digital nomad, a motivational, inspirational speaker. I recently was in Tampa for 3 weeks. I said, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to go over there. I did a lot of things while I was there. I was on podcasts. I did a seminar. I said, I just did it. Don't procrastinate. Do what you want to do. We're almost at midway through 2023. What about your New Year's resolutions? Have you done anything with them? How do you want 2023 to end? How was 2022, 2021? What kind of 2024 do you want to have? Just do it. Don't procrastinate. I myself right now, I'm 58 and I'm getting into doing what I want to do with my life. I have let stuff procrastinate. I have put stuff off and worry too much about other stuff. And like, what if it doesn't work? Try something, it doesn't work. That's perfectly fine. Take notes about it and write down what didn't go well. And start again and do it again. You don't want to be on your deathbed looking back with regret. I wish I did this. I could have done that. That is like the worst thing ever. My oldest sister passed away at 58, like 7 years ago, and there was things she still wanted to do with her life, but unfortunately, she was never able to do them. I don't want to be like that and miss out on what I want to do. I want to leave a legacy for other people. I want people to say, hey, Bonnie's gone through homelessness, she's gone through being bullied, she's gone through having anxiety, PTSD, depression, stuff like that. She didn't let that stop her. She went on and did what she wanted to do with her life. You know, and it doesn't matter if you're 20, if you're 40, if you're 60. Don't procrastinate. What is your dream? July 1st, I believe, is on Saturday, next Saturday. I never know what day it is, to be honest. We're almost literally halfway through 2023. Your New Year's resolutions, have you done any of them? And if you haven't, why not? I tell people to brain dump, right? Everything that you want to do with your life. Do you want to write a book? Do you want to travel? Do you want to be a speaker? Do you want to start your own business? Do you want to get married? Do you want to have kids? Do you want to do stuff like that? What have you what have you not done that you want to do? Why have you not done that? Why are you procrastinating? You got to get down to the nitty gritty. Dig all the way down. What is it I really want to do? What makes me happy? How do I want other people to think of me? What is my legacy? And do it. Just haul off and do it. And if you do it, what's that saying? Like, if you reach for the moon and you miss, you still land upon stars, something like that. Just go out and do it. Have big goals. Big, it's called like big, hairy, audacious goals. You know, it's like this time next year, I want to be being able to travel overseas and stuff like that. And I've gone overseas and COVID hit, so I couldn't go anymore after that. So don't let stuff happen like that. You know, you're gonna do it next year. You're gonna do it next year. You're gonna do it next year. It's gonna keep happening. You're never gonna get anything. You're gonna be on that hamster wheel of never getting done what you want to do with your life. Sit down right now today when we're done. It's Saturday. It's the weekend. Sit down, brain dump everything you want to do with your life and why you want to do it. Decide on an action plan on how you want to get it done. What are your goals by the end of this year? I'm just starting a 6-month program, and it's going to be run a little different than some programs. And I don't have a fancy name for it yet, but it's going to encompass everything: mindset, life, gratitude, business, accountability, time management, productivity, and I'm going to discuss with you what it is you want to do with your life by between now and December 31st, or 6 months or whenever we start. What do you want? Have big goals, but then we're going to break them down into smaller goals. There's a lot of things I've done that I never thought I would have done. I have several ebooks on lulu.com. I'm writing some more this week and stuff. I've kind of been procrastinating on that because I don't know what I want to write about. And recently, I was featured in a local magazine, um, Center for Lifestyle magazine, as a woman next door, one of only 6. And at 58 years old, that was my very first ever magazine article. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. So don't procrastinate. Do what you want to do with your life. I'm not sure how much more time I have. I don't want to keep going on and on. So I think I don't know if everybody closed up or anything, but so there's comments. I have to go back and double check those. Thank you very much. Anybody has any questions or anything? I'm not sure where Lisa Marie left, but went. I think she got kind of stalled.
I'm back. I'm so sorry about that,
Back.
Bonnie. My computer said no, and it kicked me out somehow. I don't know how. I did miss the end, but I got most of it. And I was watching it on Facebook while I was trying to get back in. I was watching it on my mobile. So I did still try and catch you while I was frantically getting back in. But you were very inspirational. I mean, you definitely shared some great things as well that people can, you know, those tangible things you mentioned as well that people could start straight away, making those routines first thing in the morning, you know, the showing the gratitude and you do meditation, you said as well, and journaling and doing grounding exercises. And it's so inspiring what you said, because we can't waste that time, can we? All of our speakers today have reminded we need to start now as we're listening. Make that decision, make that choice. It is a choice. And, you know, that's it and all about it. So what I want to ask now is if there are any questions in the Facebook, perhaps Anshu can help me if she's been seeing any, because I haven't been able to catch up with everything that's been going on Facebook. Because I know that Angel, unfortunately, will have to leave us. So I thought we'd stop at this point for some questions. If we have any coming in. Well, I know we've got lots of amazing comments. Certainly had some comments just then in the chat. Angel has said, Bonnie, you were great. Thank you for sharing your insights. And she says, at the moment, we haven't got loads of questions in. Sean's been saying that you're really inspirational and your mum is a legend. He absolutely loved everything you were saying. So well done. And lots of things coming through on Facebook as well. I think it's everything that the speakers have said today is really resonating here with our audience. So we really appreciate you sharing all of this. And I love that Angel has dropped in to the chat her little free 15 minutes of energy, which everybody needs to do. She's going to be so busy. Yeah, and so if any of you remember, don't wait, just pop your details in the chat as we're live so people will know the best way to get hold of you. But I am going to ask you, Bonnie, what is the best way that people can contact you? Where should they go?
Right now, contact me through Facebook. I'll put that in Facebook, my Facebook stuff in the chat. So just Facebook at Bonnie S. Hardy. I'm working on getting a website pretty soon. I'm trying to get LinkedIn figured out, so I don't have my LinkedIn stuff all the way. But basically, just contact me on Facebook. I'll put my Facebook and I'll put my email. And if you want to send me a friend request, go for it. And thanks a lot again. I appreciate it. This is super cool. This is stuff that I love to do. This lights me up to be able to spend a Saturday morning helping people worldwide master their mindset, live their best life, not procrastinate. Everybody's an expert. We all look at this from different angles. Everybody's giving great tips already, and there's more great tips coming up. So thank you very much for having me. Hopefully I'll be a part of the 30th annual movement and stuff, so that'd be awesome.
Stick with us here in the family. Now, what I would say is, I think what you just shared with us, thank you, Bonnie, is I'm sure we all echo it here in the room, certainly in the Zoom room, and there's many others, particularly who are in our global speakers community, that feel the same, that being with like-minded people and being able to share that important thing and help people is what it's all about. So yeah, that's wonderful to hear your passion coming through there, Bonnie. Now we have got 2 speakers left. We've still got this journey. You're very welcome. Thank you indeed for joining us. We have got Star coming up and we've also got Sean. So let me go ahead and share my screen, because I wanted to tell you just before I introduce the next speaker about this awesome thing that we've been doing in GST live on YouTube. Some of you might already know about it. We've been inviting speakers to come live on YouTube. It's the newest thing we've been doing, getting people to showcase themselves. We've had some incredible speakers already: Tamara L. Hunter, Carlotta Taylor, Chris Salem, April Galt, Parvin Smith, just a few to mention. There's just too many. And their stories are nothing short of inspirational. We're going to put some links to these lives in the chat for you on Facebook so that you can reach them, because they are only going out live, but they're it's a chance for you to showcase what you want to really tell someone, how you want to help people. And also at the same time, you know, like I said, I would highly recommend you watch them. They're just so inspiring. But also take a look at our YouTube channel if you haven't been there yet. It is the YouTube link, and then at Global Speakers Talk. We have got so many videos there with inspirational topics, so much support and advice there, including all of the past summits, all 28 of them, and this one as well will be uploaded after we've finished. So now we get to find out all about Star, who's our next speaker coming up today. And Star, she is the CEO of Aligning Purpose Publishing. Now, she's helped so many business owners, coaches, and speakers to transform their message into their best-selling books. Aligning Purpose Publishing is your self-publishing solution if you are going down that route. She's located in Seattle, Washington, and she's traveled and camped all over the world. She enjoys spending time in nature with her dog, Dr. Jeffrey. Star believes your dream life is one choice away. Are you ready to choose your dream life today? Well, hopefully all of the people here watching will answer yes to that, because I'm sure they're inspired already by the people we've heard up so far. So Star, welcome to the stage.
Yes, thank you so much, Lisa, for having me here. I just feel so honored to be on this stage with everybody. Thank you, Anishu, for inviting me here. It's been really great chatting with you these last couple of weeks to be able to be here, and then also for GST for hosting this event. So thankful to be here. In the chat, everybody watching, go ahead and type in what your dream life is. What does it look like? And if you have something where you know something that you can kind of feel is holding you back, go ahead and type that in too. I'd love to hear what your responses are. So I'm just getting back. I was at a conference last week with James Malinchak from the hit ABC TV show Secret Millionaire, and Jack Canfield, who has written this series of Chicken Soup for the Soul and The Secret. And so I'm just so grateful that this worked out perfectly. Just got back last night to be here today. And so I really just want to talk to people who they have a dream, right? Which is going to be, I would argue, all of us, right? But you feel like you're stuck in that way. So, you know, you feel like you're procrastinating, you're putting off tasks. And I'm here to help you and let you know it's simple, right? Sometimes what can happen is we feel like, I want to do this, I want to do that, right? And our dreams can be so big. I'm a dreamer just like you. And what I've found is three things. One, breaking it up into small steps, consistency as number two. And number three is going to be guidance. So utilizing people in your life that can help speak into you to get you moving forward, right? We are not alone. We just have to open our mouth and talk about what we want to do and what we want to accomplish. And then there's going to be people in our lives that are going to help us get us there. But we got to take those small steps. We got to be consistent, and we got to speak up. So as Lisa has shared, I am a publisher, and I've also written a couple of my own books. And so I wanted to read a small poem from the book I've written called 100 Days of Transformation. It's on Amazon. So I'm going to just read a quick poem that fits here, what we're talking about in procrastination. So here it goes. I hear you. Leaps are great, and I'm absolutely here for the dive. But let's talk about baby steps, those wobbly, not quite sure you're actually moving steps, where you might fall on your butt and need to hear someone telling you, you're so strong, keep going steps. And you look back to find that you've crossed the whole room to a table full of cookies steps. Yeah, leaps are great, and I'm absolutely here for the dive. But those baby steps still get you to the cookies, right? So I don't know if you've seen a little child who's first starting to take their steps, right? And they see a toy across the room and they get up and they take a step. Maybe they wobble, maybe they take a second step, maybe they fall down, right? They look around the room and then they get back up, right? And then they keep that momentum going, getting that toy, holding it, you know? And so this is you, this is for you. We are taking steps, right? So for small steps, what I recommend is breaking things down, okay? So for instance, let's say if you wanted to travel, right? And maybe, you know, we heard from Bonnie, her mom and her mom's boyfriend, they're out in the RV and they're traveling around, right? Well, how do I get there? It takes a small step, right? It takes I'm gonna take a road trip to an hour away city and just see how that feels, right? We all have a weekend, right? I know some of us work a lot, and so maybe you only get one day off right now. But then, okay, what can you do in that one day that is that little step that's going to get you into that dream, right? Think about that. Let's say if you, you know, again, going back to the travel, and maybe you're on your phone and you're scrolling and you're just looking at beaches all over the world and you're thinking, man, I want to go here, I want to go there. Again, take a day trip to the ocean, right? Take a couple hours if you live closer, and just allow yourself to relax and enjoy your life today and whatever you have. You know, I'm fortunate to live very close to the ocean. I live in Seattle. And so there are many times where, you know, on my way from one place to another, I'm like, let me take the longer scenic route out of my way, even sometimes, to go drive by the ocean and see it, right? Because we're meant to live our dream lives now, today. So I know we have these huge, big dreams that we want to accomplish, but it does take those small steps. So let's say you want to write a book, right? And a book can be a huge task to accomplish, but it starts that small step. So what I always recommend people who come to me and they want to write that book is I say, pick 3 days a week, schedule in your whatever calendar you use. So many of us use our phones, some use a computer, some use a, you know, a written calendar. Write it in for 1 hour for 3 days a week. This is my time block, and I'm going to sit and I'm just going to write for this 1 hour. Even set an alarm, because what that does is that tells your brain to keep going. And then once that alarm goes off, you get that choice to say, do I want to keep going in this hour, or do I want to pause and take a break and do something else, right? Because what can happen, and I've seen this so many times, is as dreamers, as people with full of ambitions, we're like, I'm going to take this whole weekend and I'm just going to write my book this whole weekend, right? But what that tells our brain is we have this huge, daunting task, and how do we accomplish that, right? And so I don't recommend that. I recommend the smaller steps. So if you want to take a weekend, then break it up. 75 minutes here, and then I'm going to take a break, and then go back for 75 minutes here, and then take a break, right? So studies show that our brains actually get tired after 90 minutes. So even if you're going to sit down for a 2-hour task, you're going to slowly be burning out your brain. So I like to say a 75 minutes before our brain even gets tired, we pause, we take that break, and then we come back when it's energized, right? You could take a 20-minute break, you could take a, you know, an hour break, and then kind of, you know, keeping that momentum going. But small steps really is your key, and breaking it down, right? So back to the book. Okay, you want to write a whole book? Great. How many chapters do you want, right? Work on your outline. Start with 75 minutes on the outline, take a break, and then go back and say, okay, I'm going to work on chapter 1. And I'm just going to get just chapter 1 sort of, started and, thoroughly outlined today, right? But if we say, I'm going to do 5 chapters today, you've already overwhelmed your brain. That's a lot. So the successful people, they start small. So I was saying I was just at a conference with James Melanchek and with Jack Canfield. And Jack Canfield, when he was on the stage, he was speaking and he said, do 5 things every day that get you closer to that dream life that you want to live. And I was like, wow, that is so simple, right? We can all do 5 things. And it doesn't have to be, I'm going to write a book as one thing. No. Your outline, that would be the one thing, right? And then, okay, starting on chapter 1, reaching out to some people and saying, hey, do you want to read part of my book? Do you want to look at my outline? Does this resonate with you, right? That's a task. And that's going to move you forward. And then again, that helps you into that guidance role, because then you're asking people, hey, is this helpful for you, for people that you know, and then listening to them, right? So consistency is going to be those 5 things every day. And then I would also say, pick a schedule that aligns with you. Okay. Oftentimes we hear, wake up at 6 a.m., and go and do all these things. And you know what? For me, and maybe some of you, I'm a night person. I thrive and I am creative in the evening, right? I prefer a slower morning, just me and my dog hanging out, not too many emails coming in, right? So figure out what works for you and allow yourself to be open to, I'm going to say like fail, right? Quote, but really it's just practicing and trying. Okay. You set your alarm for 6 a.m. and you're kind of groggy, then maybe that's not for you, right? Maybe you're going to start your book at noon. Maybe you're going to start it at 6 p.m. right? So it's deciding, where is your creativity? Where does that shine? And then allowing yourself to do that on a consistent basis, right? Because if you're not a morning person and you're setting your clock every morning, 6 a.m. from 6 to 8, I'm going to write, for 2 hours, but your brain is not even on, you're going to burn out quick, right? So where is that hour? Where does it fit with you and your schedule, right? Maybe you have to drop off kids at different hours. And so you're like, well, this time, 3 p.m. might not work for me. But when the kids go to bed at like 8:30, that's usually my time where you're speaking, sitting and you're maybe watching Netflix. Well, maybe turn that Netflix off for an hour and start writing, and then allow yourself to have that joy of watching a show, right? I think rewards are also so imperative. I tell all of my authors, after your writing session, give yourself a reward. And we pick our rewards when we set our schedule, right? So we have those 3 days a week, 1 hour. Okay, that's your writing time block. Now, after you finish your writing time block, what are you going to do for a reward? Okay, it could be having a slice of pie in the bathtub. That's one of my favorite things to do, and so, but you can pick just like little things, going to the lake with your family, relaxing, because what that does is that tells your brain, hey, when I accomplish my task and it's accompanied by like a thing that I really enjoy, I now want to keep doing that task, right? And then that really helps with that consistency. And then, so for guidance, who do you know that has the life that you want to live? Okay, that's a really important question for you to ask yourself, and just really open up that awareness of like, okay, this person, they have these things that I really value and I would love to see in my life. So start getting closer to them, start following them, start connecting with them, reach out to them and just say, hi, I'm so-and-so, and I just think that, what you're doing is great. And, do you have any tips of how I can get started, right? Because the people that don't get to where they want to go, oftentimes they don't take that risk of going out and introducing themselves, right? They think, well, maybe if I get my book done first, then I can go talk to somebody. And it's like, most likely that person talked to somebody before their book was done, right? And so we want to utilize the steps that our predecessors have used so then that we can then live that life, right? I was at this conference, like I was saying, and there was this guy there, and he had been a publisher for a really long time, and he's got a stream of clients, and I was a little fangirlish, but I reached out anyway, and I said, hey, I would love to talk with you and just know like how you really built your business, and got his email, and we're going to connect on a Zoom call, right? But if I had just said, well, I'm not quite ready and I want to reach another level, who knows how long that would have taken, right? But the fast path, right? If we want to get there faster, we got to utilize each other, right? We're not supposed to do life alone. And I know sometimes we hear like, oh, just keep it hidden and just wait and just do, and then when you've risen, then tell people, right? But that's a challenge, and that takes a really long time. And if we reach out and we connect with each other and we're all rising, right? You have gifts now that they probably need, and you have gifts now for sure that somebody who is behind you absolutely needs, right? So it's turning around, pulling the person up behind you, and then reaching your hand out in front of you and allowing that other person to pull you up, right? And then we're going to all be at the top of the mountain having a picnic together. So making sure that you are surrounding yourself with who's going to guide you to the life that you have. So that's all that I have. Again, I'm so thankful, Lisa, that you invited me here, Anishu, and GST. This has been such a great conversation.
That was brilliant, Star. And we've had a lot of reaction to it as well. I think everybody in the room will join me in saying that was very enjoyable. I know that Bonnie and Sean both shared their dreams. I don't know if either of you want to share it with the group. Do you want to unmute and share what your dreams were?
Yeah, don't mind at all. Yeah, no, I've just started writing a book on the paranormal, bit of a paranormal fan, have a podcast. So yeah, it's been a big dream of mine to get into that area. So jumping in feet first. So absolutely amazing.
Oh, I join you in enthusiasm about all things paranormal too, Sean. And what about you, Bonnie?
One of my biggest dream is to be a digital nomad. I want to travel around the United States and Canada, being an inspirational, motivational speaker, and helping the homeless and disadvantaged in the areas that I go to. And the hotel I just stayed in for 3 weeks over Tampa, they said they had a ghost and it was haunted. And I said, well, if the ghost comes into my room, I'm not paying for another guest, so he's going to have to do his own thing. But they said there was a ghost in the hotel. I never saw anything, but maybe you can come over here and check it out. But yeah, we must be a digital nomad, help the homeless and disadvantaged all over the world eventually.
Amazing. You'll have to have a chat with Sean. Make sure you take your EMF meter with you next time so you can. I'm just playing with you. That was a wonderful dream, Bonnie. I absolutely love it. And I think a lot of people, share that dream. I actually have a friend who has just basically become a digital nomad, and is doing that traveling. And I think it's very inspiring to have these sort of dreams. And they're what drive us to not procrastinate and to keep moving forward towards our goals. Now, it was interesting, Star, the amazing things that you shared. Obviously, I want to also share that on the chat in Facebook as well. I know Anshu and Ian were making comments about how they thought what you were sharing was so brilliant and so helpful. So thank you for that as well. And I took from you as well a few things that I think sometimes people forget, and it is about making sure it fits in with you. Like sometimes we get all enthusiastic and we're like, right, we are going to do this and we're going to do this, but you have to be realistic within that, don't you? And you reminded us of that, and you have to give yourself rewards. That's another thing that I feel like I learned a bit too late in life. I wish I'd known sooner. It's so simple, but it's like, make time to do those things that you really enjoy, and they make doing all the other things that are challenging more easy. I think certainly, and I'm talking as a procrastinator, as a self-confessed procrastinator for most of my life, which obviously I've been trying to change now for several years, actively, really working hard on changing it, because and the way I do it is to do the thing I don't want to do the most first. So I prioritize that in my day. And also another thing that I'm doing is I'm a big believer in these accountability partners. And you touched on that as well, Star, by telling us about, you know, we need people, don't we? We're not an island. We can't do this alone. And she's been brilliant for me. And I'm going to say to her next time we meet, because we meet now, we're going to be meeting every week. I have different accountabilities for different things, really. I'm on a course and I've got someone keeping me on track with there where I'm finding it a bit difficult and procrastinating a little over, you know, I'm not going to procrastinate. I'm going to get this thing done. I'm going to call her up and say, let's do it together, you know, because it works. And so, yeah, I agree with what you say. And what I'm going to say to her now is that next week we're going to have a picnic at the top of the mountain, because Star said we can all meet at the top of the mountain and have a picnic together when we succeed. I love that. So brilliant. Thank you so much. And we're not ending there, ladies and gentlemen, because of course we've still got Sean to tell us all about his wisdom with regard to the procrastinating. So yeah, Bonnie, I agree with you. Accountability is key. And yes, Star really was brilliant with what she shared with us. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen one last time. Let me just see if I can do that, because we have got Sean coming up. And here he is. Lovely picture of him. Look. Here we go. There he is. That's Star. And there's Sean, who's our keynote speaker on the panel. And he is a wonderful gentleman. I actually do know Sean. We had a few back and forths, haven't we, over the last couple of years, where we do share a mutual network group, which we join occasionally, which is really good fun. So as a dyslexic, Sean never lets anything stop him from achieving his goals. He's the founder of Missing Piece, a business that specializes in supporting individuals with dyslexia, autism, and low self-esteem. He empowers neurodiverse individuals by unlocking their potential and their superpowers. He provides creative solutions to unleash their potential and raise their self-esteem. With his deep understanding of the unique challenges that are faced by these individuals, Sean's innovative approach and innovative approach and creative work have inspired many to embrace their differences and thrive in a world that often overlooks their strengths. So, Sean, welcome to the stage, the Global Speaker stage.
Thank you very much. Well, I've got some really hard acts to follow, and talking about procrastination, this is my first online event where I've done this sort of thing, other than doing stuff with networks, etc. So this is really, really good. So keynote speaking is a new thing for me. I thought, could I do it? Should I do it? Well, I didn't procrastinate and I just went and did it. So let's see whether some of the stuff that I came up with really sort of helped myself. So for me, procrastination is that sneaky habit that robs us of our time, productivity, and ultimately our dreams. But fear is also a big part of procrastination. So by understanding the root cause of procrastination, it implements an effective strategy that we can break free from, and we can unlock the grip and unlock our true potential, and let us delve deeper into what I do in order to stop procrastinating and get into that procrastination trap. So for me, procrastination is more than just putting off tasks, delaying deadlines. It's a complex psychology phenomenon that affects individuals from all walks of life. At its core, procrastination is a self-sabotaging behavior that stems from a combination of fear of perfectionism and a desire of immediate gratification to overcome a formidable foe. We must obviously dissect its components to adopt and have a more proactive life. So for me, when I very first started Missing Piece, fear was a big and powerful emotion, and it often lied at the heart of my procrastination. We fear failure and rejection, criticism, or even success itself. This fear paralyzes us and makes it easy to delay important tasks rather than confront the potential outcomes. However, by acknowledging and understanding our fears, we can reframe them as opportunities for growth. Remember, fear is often a sign that we're venturing into new territory, and that's where real progress happens. Perfectionism is a double-edged sword in some ways. While striving for excellence, it's admirable, and an excessive pursuit of perfection can fuel procrastination. We become trapped in a cycle of overthinking, and that's something that I do quite a lot with just my dyslexia. Endless revision and unattainable quest for flawlessness. To break free, we must shift our mindsets and embrace the concept of progress over perfection, and recognize that taking imperfect actions is better than not taking any action at all. Embrace learning process and allow room for you to grow in every way. We spoke on many terms of having other people to support us, accountability partners, etc. I have one myself, because without him, I think sometimes I would sit back into that procrastination world. In our modern world filled with distractions, gratification is everywhere, such as social media, video games, and other forms of entertainment constantly vie for our attention. These distractions lure us away from important tasks and drain our productivity. By implementing strategies to manage our time effectively and creatively, a focused work environment, we can resist the temptation for immediate gratification and prioritize on our long-term goals. To break free from procrastination trap, we need a particular practical strategies, and here are a few that have helped me and some of the techniques that I've used. We've gone through this one previously, so I set specific goals, deadlines, and clearly define what it is that I'm looking to achieve, and to establish realistic deadlines. This provides clarity and a sense of urgency. I break tasks into smaller steps. Overwhelming tasks can lead to procrastination, so if you break them down into manageable chunks, you can tackle them one step at a time. As Star quite rightly said, baby steps is still going to get you to the cookie jar. Identify the most important tasks and then allocate dedicated time to work on them. Use productivity tools and techniques such as to-do lists and time blocking to stay organized, and minimize or eliminate distractions during focused work periods. Some of the things I do is I turn my notifications off on my phone. I sometimes turn the TV off, and I have some soothing music in the background. I have a friend who also deals with meditation, and I use his app sometimes just in the background, just to have that sort of music and that sort of feel to keep me focused on what I'm doing. But also you need to be kind to yourself when setbacks occur. They're going to occur. Learn from your mistakes and forgive yourself, and move forward with renewed determination. Procrastination is a formidable foe, but it's not unbeatable. By understanding the underlying causes of procrastination, embracing imperfection, and implementing effective strategies, we can break from the grip and unleash our productivity and potential. Remember, every opportunity and every moment is an opportunity for growth and progress. So let's conquer procrastination and reclaim our time. One of my favorite quotes is from a gentleman called Phil M. Jones. And he says that a mistake is something that you know is wrong and you keep doing it. But if you take the time to take a risk and it doesn't turn out the way you want it to do, that's not failure, that's strength. So congratulations, and keep doing it. Thank you very much for having me speak today. It's been amazing being here.
I love that. You ended on such a powerful quote there, Sean, as well. I'm taking that away with me. I wrote it down as quick as I could. That's brilliant. Hey, he's quite inspirational. Actually, you know, I think you shared so much in that short amount of time that it was so full of information about, you know, ways that you can help yourself. You really did cover a lot of ground. And one thing that you touched on more than anyone else today was a thing that I think I have, which is the distraction, whether it's an unplanned distraction or, you know, just a natural one from your family or from the telephone or whatever. I almost feel like in the past, I've self-sabotaged by finding distractions. I think sometimes there's a danger that when we're procrastinating, something else seems all suddenly more important than what I'm doing. And effectively, that is procrastination, isn't it? So, I think it is important to get rid of all those distractions, the things that are your triggers, and to be aware that you're doing it. First of all, have an awareness. And like you said, a really important thing that you said as well that resonated with me was about forgiving yourself, because like you say, mistakes. I'm a big believer, coming from, primary teacher all my life. It's teaching the children that their mistakes are to be learned from. That is the bottom line. Let's learn from them, let's grow. So I loved everything that you shared. I think we've had a wealth of knowledge about procrastination today. I think we've covered the topic really well between us. I wanted to check before we end our summit today, if we can find out if we've got any questions that are pending for our speakers. I just put a message out to Anshu to see if there's any coming in. I know that my number one tip amongst all that's been said today, but what's really worked for me for procrastination would be that at the beginning of the day, when I know there's something that I have thought, I don't want to do that, I'll do this instead first, that I put that number one on my list. That has made a big difference to me, and that I've pushed through it. That and having my accountability partners, like Sean said, I think that, you can't underestimate having people in your life. So I want to put to you, panel, do you have one big thing that you would like to share with the audience that you would say is the one thing that's helped you the most when it comes to procrastination? Who wants to jump in? Go for it, Bonnie.
Okay, like you were just saying, do one big thing first. I've heard people call that eat the frog. So one thing that you really don't want to do, or it's going to take the longest, get that out of the way first, so you don't have to worry about it anymore. If it's something that's a really big task, at least get started on it. I use time blocking. I say, I'm going to maybe do emails. I'm going to just do emails for 25 minutes, set an alarm on my clock. 25 minutes, doesn't matter how many I've got, just do that. And then if you know you only have to do something for a certain amount of time, it's going to be a lot easier to get through it. Because like they say, our minds can only do so much for so long. Breaking it down, do the thing that you don't want to do, is going to be the hardest first. Get that. That's also a sense of accomplishment. If something that was hard to do, you do it, and then you might say, I'm only going to do it for 25 minutes, but then you get on a roll, and let's just knock this whole thing out. Let's just do it. Like the Nike saying, just do it, get it out of the way, do it, and then you're like, that makes you feel so much better. You have your list, you cross stuff off, and you're like, I'm so accomplished. Do this, go eat your cookie, yourself. Everybody's saying all these little things help. All these tips and techniques that work for you best, and put that in your life. And I guarantee you, 6 months from now, your life is going to be so much better. Write down right now what you want your life to look like January 1st, 2024. Take all these that you've learned today, all these tips, implement them into your life. Get an accountability partner, get a coach, make plans, and your life will be so much better. You're going to look back and say, oh my gosh, I can't believe how much I've done because I stopped procrastinating, because I learned and knew what I wanted to do. I had a plan, I have a goal, I have an accountability partner, and I just did it. And this is the legacy that I'm leaving.
I love that. And you're right. It feels good, doesn't it? When you've done it, it doesn't feel good, the procrastination feeling, but when you've done that thing, it feels great. And it doesn't matter how many steps it takes you to get that cookie jar, or how long it takes you to get to that mountain to have that picnic. You will get there and you will feel amazing. And that's the bottom line, right? I love that. Thanks, Bonnie. Brilliant. And the other thing I wanted to say is I just wanted to say, Star and Sean, please make sure that you do pop your contact details into the Facebook group, because people will, the Facebook page, thread, because people will want to get hold of you. They'll want to know the best way to get hold of you. Sean, the best way to get hold of you is through your website. Am I correct?
That's correct, yes.
And so your website is www.missingpeace.co.uk. Sorry, I'm going to change that. www.missing-peace.uk. Okay.
Yes.
And Star, what would you suggest is the best way to get hold of you, lovely? Oh, look, Bitly. It's a Bitly link.
Yeah,
I love
you
it.
can see it. So this is actually my calendar. So
Great.
bit.ly/publish calendar. And so specifically if you have a book and you're just wanting guidance, I do everything. So I can start from the idea, we do the publishing. I also help with getting you on podcasts and do promoting with creating a website for you. So everything that you need, go to my calendar, let's set up a call and let's get you going.
Excellent. And I know, Bonnie, I spoke to you earlier, but when I looked earlier at your, I was checking out, your new course. You've got some links there, haven't you? So people, do you want them to connect with you on Facebook, or have you dropped some of your links into the chat?
I'm on Facebook, and I've got my email, so they can contact me through email and just tell me what they need the most help with. Ask me any questions, ask me anything that I'm doing. I can do each course a la carte. We can do the whole caboodle, the whole 6-month coaching program, and everything's included for no extra price. I've got a lot of different things I'm doing. Have any questions about anything I'm doing, my 5-Life formula, my Vision for Your Life formula, my program, whatever, just contact me through Facebook, send me a friend request, and we'll get it taken care of.
Excellent. Amazing. Now, Sean, you want to share with me your answer to the question, don't you, about what you would focus on?
I do, yes. So everybody here that started some sort of business or decided to jump into the entrepreneurial spirit always had a why, the reason why they got into it. And for me, being the creative person that I am, I have a dream board. And that dream board is what I look at, that when I'm starting to think about, getting distracted in life, or am I gonna do this today, or should I do a little easier tasks? And I think, what could I achieve in 1 month's time if I just picked up the pen and started working on this particular area now? And that dream board's in my office, and it keeps me moving.
That's great. Yes, always. It's a great suggestion. I love it. Star, do you want to share with us what your first number one tip would be?
Yeah, it would be to encourage yourself, right? There's so much I think Dinesh was talking about like a mindset, right? And there's so much that we can be so critical on ourselves on, and just like over judging ourselves that we would never impart onto other people, right? And so let's say you had a list of your 5 things to do, and maybe today you only got 1 done. Celebrate that, encourage yourself in that, say, wow, I'm so proud of you, Bonnie, right? You're just saying it to yourself for getting this 1 task done today. You did a great job. I'm just so proud of you, right? Keeping that encouragement going, and then starting tomorrow, it's just going to be like, well, maybe I'll try and get a second thing done, right? And then encouraging that instead of focusing on the things you didn't accomplish, encouraging yourself in what you did.
That's really great advice, putting the positive spin on what's happened, even though you might be feeling like I didn't get enough done. Immediately change that mindset into looking at what I did do. Yeah. And being kind to yourself. And Sean touched on it as well. A few speakers touched on, having that, forgiving yourself and being kind and giving yourself the rewards and appreciating it. You said something about rewards too, didn't you, Star? So yeah, I absolutely 100% brilliant advice. It's a great place to start. Dinesh, where would you tell everyone to start? I think it would be with the breathing. Am I right, my friend? Would that be a good idea? A good place to start?
Yeah, for me, the procrastination is stopping it is not a rocket science. There are a number of methods. Just trust one method, apply it, put it into action, and see that it will work.
Well, that's great. I mean, that's really brilliant advice in itself, isn't it? Take what you've learned today, find what resonates with you, hook onto it. And as long as you stay